Greetings, welcome back to another video in which we coach another player's gameplay, to hopefully clue them in on any tips and techniques they are missing, as well as take a look at their build and gameplay and see if we can optimize it further. And if you would like your gameplay highlighted and coached on this series, feel free to let me know in the comments below. As well as if you are enjoying this series and you would like to see more, dropping a like and a sub definitely lets me know that you want to see more and it helps me out a great ton. So without further ado, let us begin. Alright, so here we are with this footage coming to us from a commenter from the last video, pretty much saying that they're trying to push out of A rank and would like any tips on any way to do it, as well as they are pretty attached to their lightweight melee build. And so as I review and upgrade it, I'll try to keep the spirit of it alive as we go through, but we shall see. Okay, we got the first video out of a playlist of a couple of fights, so yeah, let's get into it. Alright, our enemy using an LR Rensetsu lightweight, our Nakraya legs, as well as us. Ooh, Nakraya double Estrogen, Pulse Blade, NGI booster is interesting, as well as Duo 03. Kazuar head, Hermesa core. Interesting. Alright, let us begin. Yeah, so rocking both the Nakraya legs and Core booster is interesting. You're gonna get hella boost distance from the ground, but a little unnecessary. Estrogen's a good pick, Pulse Blade's a nice pick, Duo 3's maybe not the best missile launcher for this type of build, if you want to stay so close, as we just seen the missiles went right over. They were working at the medium range, but in close range you just don't do it. Alright, enemies pop on the first expansion. We are looking a little lesser in the HP, makes sense he's doing more damage. Plus those plasmas are kind of always just tapping us, so it is what it is. Plus he's rocking double missile the enemy, so yeah. Is he? Yeah, it's kinetic, or explosive. Oh, he has single cell split, or the 8 cell. Okay. He's got a little more DPS, we have much more impact. DPS gone. Nice. Ooh, a little laggy, a little bit of delay on the melee registering, but hey, we got it. GG's. Close though, close. Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly doing a pretty decent job sticking it close. He's going to be wanting to play range with that Rensetsu. Overall, those Rensetsu shots really shouldn't be hitting us, especially at the medium range. The Rensetsu's projectile speed is very low, as it has very nice damage and impact. Very nice directed as well. So we're doing a lot of salt boosting, but we're not exactly canceling at the right time. We're doing a lot of overshooting. Melee cancel was a bit odd there. Perhaps he thought he'd get the stagger, but that's alright. Alright, so again, he has PA8 first. Pulse is looking for the even Steven. Splits are coming into our back. Yeah, hitting us for not getting that. Salt boosting a lot just to kind of even get around. I mean, I guess we have the regen, probably something like Kikuchi or Mangtang, so it's not the worst thing of all. Yeah, see, we keep just salt boosting straight past him. We'll go into some good chase down tech once we go over the new build, but yeah, definitely can be improved there. Alright. So a bit of panicking happening. I guess it's just a thing I see a lot of players do. Just kind of press buttons at random to try to close distance or negate what's happening, but yeah, okay, cool. I think we can work with this. Alrighty, here we are with the reconstruction of the build. Kind of taking a guess on the FCS and generator, although on further review of the gameplay, I think he's running the Santai. As with this current configuration, we even have 5,000 energy efficiency or supply efficiency, so the recharge is fairly high. And reviewing the footage, yeah, he's using a lot of energy, and it's clear that he has a lot of capacity. And so yeah, very squishy boy indeed. 8k AP, 1000 defenses, 1500 stability, very low. 16 is about the lowest I'd ever go, really. And all that only to get us to 360 boost speed, when 370 is what's like preferred for this type of durability threshold, even though you can be much more durable than this with such a speed. And to be a close range combatant, having a little more durability is very much favored, as you're at the very least going to get tagged a little bit at close range no matter what. If you want to play fast and loose and never get hit, you want to play more ranged while being super light. So yeah, first I like the weapons. I like the double estrogens. It's obviously the kings of close range, high impact build-up. Great for building up the stagger for a melee punish, for that stagger punish. The Duo 03, not the biggest fan of for this kind of build. It's pretty good for medium to long range. Close range, they just go right over the opponent. It's a little tricky with such a close range oriented build. So this doesn't have great synergy with us. So yeah, we'll definitely work on improving that in the upgraded variant. Next, again, the frame is far too squishy for what it's trying to accomplish, and the speed we're at by default. I'll respect the choice of Nakraya legs, as they are kind of an acquired taste nowadays. They are indeed very squishy, but they do give that nice jump distance and jump height, which contributes to an even stronger quick boost distance. Although I think in close range combat it's a little tricky with the Nakraya legs is, sure, their jump height is nice, so it lets us get in the air and vert a little bit, but you don't really want to vert as a close range all too much. B-hopping is kind of rough, as you spend so much time in the air that the enemy's FCS can read Sharak-On. And you can use Bene hopping to get a free dodge without burning any energy, as it's such a fast action that it indeed breaks the FCS, similar to a dodge. So it's kind of rough on Nakraya because you're in the air so long to reconnect, so it can be a little tricky. But if you don't really care for B-hopping, you just want that quick boost distance, then, you know, keep on rocking it. That's all right. Alright, next, NGI Booster, an interesting choice. It does have very good thrust, upwards thrust, and mainly quick boost thrust, having it maxed out. It's kind of like the Alula Booster for heavyweights. However, this is a lightweight, and we're already using Nakrire legs, so we don't really need the boost in quick boost distance. And if we switch over to the Alula, not only do we still keep our good thrust, quick boost is still pretty high, plus our Nakrire, so we're not really losing a whole lot of natural quick boost thrust or distance. We gain more assault boost, so if you want to assault boost a lot to catch up to the enemy, this is a little better for it. And our boost speed jumps up to past 370, which allows us a little bit of room to play with putting us some more durable parts, methinks. And then lastly, FCS, I don't know if you're using the Abbott or the Ocellus. And for Generator, I mean, if you're playing with such a light frame, then yeah, if you can slap on the Sandtai or NGI with Nakrire, actually not so bad, as it has the same synergy as with reverse joints, meaning you can jump up into the air. Actually, you know what? I will show it instead of telling. We dodge around a bunch with that max capacity, very epic. Plus our reload on the NGI is kind of rough. You can jump up to the air, you get a free dodge. By the time you come down, energy's back. So all the good stuff. Might even get 2 B-hops before it's fully back, but still, it's pretty damn nice. Dodge you, jump in the air, keep shooting, there again, and we're back. Chillin'. Now, obviously, you don't have to really rely on that. If you want natural regeneration, Sandtai is a good option, but NGI does make us a little quicker, so. But yes, with all of that said, let us take it into the forge, indubitably.
A few inches later.
And here he is, upgraded Dude Mansky. Alright, for the weapons, of course, kept the Estrogens, as they are indeed goated. Ended up switching the Duo 03, although you could technically still run the Duo 2, although at your ranges, I wouldn't recommend it. Ultimately, I switched them for better close-range missile launchers, that of course being the MLT variants, going with the 4-cell due to weight restrictions, which is fine. It's a very nice uptime missile. Ultimately, with a build like this, so much of your impact relies on your machine guns in your close range. Your missiles at that rate are really just a little extra impact, sure, but mainly just your ranged pressure against kites and such, to help you make sure you tap them and that impact doesn't go down. Of course, keeping the pulse blades, the butt. Very solid melee, inside or outside of stagger. If you're going to use it outside of stagger, definitely go for the charge attack, as it gives off enemy stun, and then lots of impact. For frame parts, going the VP44D head, absolutely goated head for a pretty much all-rounded. It has very good contributions to AP, stability, as well as decent stats and overall. Going the Melander core, as it is the most stat-dense core we could fit on these legs. Technically, you could go Bashio for AP and stability and defenses, except where it has very, very poor generator output adjust. Shooting our EN supply efficiency all the way down from 7,000 to 4,000, which is indeed rough. And having high EN efficiency is pretty integral to an aspect of this build we'll get into later. Going with the Melander C3 arms, similar case with the core, as they're very, very stat dense for this weight. And although we lose a bit of the melee specs, we won't be doing technically as much damage. It's still going to take the same amount of staggers to kill most opponents anyway, so that's not really much of a factor. Those will also give us some very nice recoil control and firearm specialization, so you can just shoot these 2 estrogens without caring much for accuracy. Although you should probably space your shots whenever your enemy is dodging around a lot, because the shots are just not going to hit. And of course, for the legs, keep a Nakrire to be true to the build, so it should feel very much the same. However, it would do this build wonders switching to legs, at the very least Alba. You will lose your jump distance and height, but you will gain much needed stability, defenses, even more speed technically, but you know, to each their own indeed. For inner parts, going Alula for the pre-mentioned reasons, for FCS going Ocellus, and for generator now going the VP20C, as it's one of the only gens light enough to allow us to run all this extra durability. And although the VP20C is definitely a shot down from the Sandtai or Portals gens capacity, its recharge, and especially recharge with our supply efficiency being 7,300, is very, very fast. And so yeah, combat wise, it plays exactly the same. Spam your missile, whether you're close or far away. Now it should hit no matter what. Stagger, melee punish, and end it with kick if you like, and all that good stuff, and he will die pretty damn soon. So yeah, although you don't have insane capacity to dodge around like crazy infinitely, you still kind of can, as long as you just wait for it to recharge, which only takes a second, which means you can dodge every 1 time per second, which is pretty nice. You can dodge a bunch of times per second, really, because it recharges so fast. Just dodge, 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 wait 1 second, recharges, dodge, dodge, dodge. It's very, very nice indeed. And it also means we technically have infinite flight. Not only can you go into the air and have it recharge pretty damn fast, especially for being in the air, but you can also just redline it in the sky, going up as much as you can. This is a lot of airtime, by the way. As you fall down, you'll get your energy back before you hit the ground. So they map with a very high skybox, like the dunes, You just stay in the sky forever, staying right above the enemy for all of eternity, raining down hellfire indeed. And so yeah, also our assault boost, I know you like to assault boost a lot, is now 500 plus speed, which is very, very nice. Shuffling probably higher than that 600, very cool. And as we wrap up the gameplay, another tip I have for you when it comes to assault boosting in to, close the distance against your enemy, I'd recommend assault boosting in and then pressing the jump button. Not sure what platform you're on, or if it's A, X, or I imagine space on PC, or keyboard and mouse. But yeah, if you just jump out of your assault boost, it cancels it, keeps some decent momentum, doesn't burn any energy, and is, yeah, super, super efficient, especially against enemies that expect you to just assault boost right past them and then cancel your assault boost and be on them. You can definitely catch them by assault boosting in, exiting right before you get straight to them, because at that rate they might boost past you and you can dodge with them, which is super sick. So if you want to take this build for a spin, let us know what you think, even if you just adapt certain aspects from it. Without further ado, let us get back to the gameplay. Now we're back to the gameplay, second clip, and oh my god, what an opponent, what a chunkless. This man is in S rank promos for both teams and singles, very nice. Man, I wish teams are super live, teams are so fun to play. I gotta coach some teams gameplay, I think that'd be really fun. Yeah, but this tank is gonna be rough. He's probably gonna be running away the entire time, firing off the charge nebula, as I assume that's what it is, and you can just spam the charge tag over and over because of the cooling. Tyrannos, of course. Tyranno's an interesting choice. Normally you go for, at least not double Tyranno, maybe one is fine, and then a normal missile on the other, and then a Majestic. Normally on this configuration you see 3 missiles, so a box missile, 2 missiles on the shoulder, and then a Neb or a Majestic or a hammer or explosive thrower, but yeah, this one's a little more generous. Honestly, with our lightweight frame, we'd definitely be able to dodge those Tyrannos and the Majestic to a degree. The Nebula has proxy debt, similar to the Majestic, although much more egregious, my god. So it's going to be pretty hard to dodge that, but we'll see. From we're at a medium range, with the Estrogens have some pretty nice generous range of working up to like 190 meters, so if 130 is the actual close range, working all the way to 130 anyway is pretty damn nice. A little tricky on the terrain there. Some ricochets. I like how he's playing this far away though. He's not going into his face. That is very good. Alright, the Nebula's now getting charged up. Interesting, it wasn't taking that long. Oh, Majestic hit. A little bit of Torino. Oh god. They're all hitting. No. Because we're just dodging back, so we're losing tons of speed by just backpedaling. We need to be moving around to the side a lot more. Curving around. It's kind of what we're doing, but also playing a little more airborne. That's the thing. If you're going to play this much in the sky, there's really no point in having knocked rider legs. So you really excel on the ground to get that jump height distance, or the jump height slash dodge distance. Alright, he also has PA, which is smart on a tank. Sometimes you see them rocking TA, which is not so great. Depends, but yeah, this is gonna be really rough. The Tyrannos really like to hit you when you're just walking away. They're very good chase down missiles, I'd say. But if you move around to the side, they have almost no chance of hitting, especially on, again, such a light frame. So they just take it to the sky, just backpedaling. It is not the play, man. We're so much faster naturally, all we need to do is dodge around to the side. That shot was a bit rough. Yikes. I wouldn't be surprised if these things playing a bit into this, because yeah, those Majestics are just missing by way more than their proxy debt, yet they're hitting. It's kind of rough. Probably a result in desync, but hey, sometimes it'd be like that. But again, yeah, if we were to dodge more to the side and stay grounded, you would be dodging pretty much everything except for maybe the Nebula, which would maybe give you enough for the chance to win. Yeah, the audio is breaking up a lot for me on my end. I don't know if it's on the recording as well. It is. Sorry about that. Oh, but yeah, we're down. Diddly done did it. GG's. Hard matchup, honestly, but a little bit avoidable. Alright, but this opponent, Huxley Zim, and the name is Double Sword, so I imagine Pulse Blade and the Coral Blade, the Oscillator, on reverse joint. And Ephemeral Head's an interesting choice. How Core also interesting. Interested to see what booster this guy has, and the other melee. But this could be pretty dangerous. He has the durability over us. He has a very mean combo potential. If he lands a kick into a Zim, this build might just stagger off of that with such low stability. Yeah, best not to get hit. Huxley's gonna be pretty rough, but if we're moving to the side constantly from the ground, it probably won't have enough bullet velocity. Shooting to the sky, very heat. There we go. Alright, he's boosting it quick, which probably means Kaku, especially leading with it. Yeah, Oscillator, very good. Yeah, I think we're seeing some mighty desync here. That Oscillator did not hit it. Yeah, battling the lag is always rough. Goddamn drop kick to death. Ah! Yeah, and an Ethernet connection may be warranted indubitably. Damn, that's rough. Unless you're playing out from somewhere just so far away from whoever you're fighting here in these ranked matches anyway. But yeah, Digicync is a little rough here. Oh god, he's even teleporting. Maybe he's just lagging, I don't know. Maybe he needs Ethernet, I don't know. That's rough. Assault as well with the double melee, yeah, that's warranted. God. I mean, honestly, yeah, making the same mistakes of staying in the sky so much, but it can hardly be avoided when you have such a jump height. But yeah, that mainly was just the fact that Brosif was lagging his heart out. There's not much you can do about that. Alrighty, last fight. Oh my god, almost Formal Lander, although the HAL Arms 10 cell Coral Booster double Rensetsu boy. A little chunky for a Rensetsu kite. Might not be a kite. Maybe he wants to play close range with them things, but we shall see. We definitely have these superior impacts. Not so much on the durability, but yeah. Honestly, as long as we keep the distance enough where the SUs work, but we're far away enough where we can just constantly outpace the Rensetsus, we'd honestly be kind of fine. Yeah, we're taking to the sky a lot more than is necessary, but, you know, it is what it is. So if we're in a constant just dance, we don't have to self-boost in here. Stagger's looking high, maybe light up. Yeah, lighten up until he gets close. You don't want to stagger him there, it's going to be rough. Yeah, land the full thing, yeah. Surprised he honestly landed one. Especially with him having Coral, he should totally could have dodged away from that. That's really strange. Yeah, but you don't want to just stagger anytime you can. You want to stagger in a good position. He has a shield as well. Interesting. Oh, he got caught with the missiles. Unfortunate. Yeah, he did not use his shield a whole lot there. Could have dodged, or blocked at least, mitigated some of the impact buildup, some of the damage building up, but no, he's definitely not playing the best. He's playing it like it's a kite, but he's super durable. Doesn't have to be that heavy. And 10 cell is kind of rough. 10 cell means a lot of missiles, a lot of impact, but yeah, the DPS, the rate of fire is not very solid. Alright, there's Stagger, good stuff. Yeah, just not using shield very often. Not enough. I mean, you just have too many opportunities to really use it in its, you know, normal parrying aspect. It'd be like, oh, here's a charge attack parry, here's a melee attack parry. You know, even then he was slow to melee that, parry that. Man, my words are great. But yeah, but honestly, at this rate, where there's nothing just super obvious to parry, I would just be kind of popping it every now and again to give me some damage mitigation, especially on reload. Might as well. Yeah, but he's going down. GG's. Alright, alright, alright. Alright, and that is all the gameplay. And to better express my thoughts on your gameplay, I'm going to be assigning you a rank for how well you did at executing these 3 criterias. That being resource management, positioning, and build craft. As I think these are very important benchmarks to hit and can kind of, depending on how you did with them all, can kind of gauge the overall view. And if you all have any more criteria you think we should add to the list, feel free to let me know in the comments and we'll see if we can update it in the next video. So yes, first up, resource management. This alludes to your usage of weapons, assault boost, quick boost, so your energy, your weapons, how much you're attacking, defending, that kind of stuff. And considering you like to assault boost a lot as well as just kind of boost around, definitely taking advantage of that max capacity from the Santai. There are much better ways to use such capacity, and as we kind of explained in the gameplay, there are better ways to use assault boost when it comes to closing the distance, or even taking advantage of the increase of impact buildup when assault boosting and firing in a, you know, kinetic weapon, as well as you would just fire at your missile whenever it was up, which for the most part is fine, but with the duo being so close, it means it just misses a lot, which is rough. And although your expansion usage was pretty alright for the most part, that last fight we just watched, where you used it to kind of mirror his, which isn't too uncommon to mirror the enemy's expansion, especially with its PA. Thing is, your AP was looking fine, and your impact was basically non-existent, so you definitely could have saved it for a little bit more of an opportunistic time. Pretty much when his was about to run out, you could have popped yours, and then you're just invincible for a couple seconds, while he has nothing to rely on other than to run, and you're much faster, so you can just chase him down. So yeah, overall, I'd give your resource management a B rank, which means you didn't do awful, got some good plays in there, just some mistakes or misplays that just kind of kept on coming back up, but I'm sure you'll sharpen that out with time. Next we have positioning, and I think what was best shown, and it kind of matches into your assault boosting and usage of your stamina, your energy with quick boost, assault boost, and all that good stuff, but it was definitely most apparent against the tank. The better play would have been to stay to the ground and keep quick boosting to the side, essentially making distance and spinning around him constantly. And if you're using the ground with your quick boost with the Knockout legs, you definitely wouldn't be able to dodge pretty much everything he was throwing at you. But definitely better than, going to the sky and backpedaling, as backpedaling itself cuts down your speed by a significant amount, and staying in the air with your build with the Knockout legs just really isn't favorable. But again, just most apparent against the tank. The other fights was okay, so again, I'd give your positioning a B rank. Nothing crazy, but of course nothing awful. And lastly, to wrap it up, Buildcraft. Ultimately, your weapons were good, at least 3 out of 4 of them. Duo isn't the worst on a build like this, but again, not super preferred. Something in the MLT class is much better indeed. But the Pulse Blade was good, the S engines are good. The frame itself was a bit too squishy. The Noctorai legs didn't exactly match your gameplay as well as they could have. But I think that just gets to, being used to them, used to playing them in PvP versus PvE. And then the inner parts is also kind of rough. The Chordal Booster isn't the best fit. I'm sure you have Close Range FCS, that's a no-brainer. And the Sentai is fine, although based on how much you like to play in the sky and just kind of quick boost willy-nilly, you would definitely favor from having a generator like Hakushi, Mangtang, or VP20C, as it allows you to do a lot of that, but get the energy back very fast. And if you want to stay in the sky, you can pretty much be there infinitely. So with that, I would give Buildcraft a C rank, which isn't the worst of the worst. It's not D rank necessarily. Like I said, the weapons are pretty solid. The rest is just kind of misguided a little bit. But hey, that's how we learn to keep upgrading. So the fact that you can go from this and just keep on upgrading it, making it better and better as you improve, is honestly pretty damn nice. And one of my favorite parts about the game in total. But yeah, let me know what you think about my ranking. Was it too harsh? Was it too generous? And this, of course, goes out to the player being coach as well as any other viewer. And again, if you have any gameplay you want me to feature/coach on this series, do let me know. And if you have enjoyed, please do leave a like and a sub. It helps me out immensely. But yeah, and that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, a huge shout out to my channel members, my Egg Crusaders, Arch, Shadow, Metal, Magpie, Hollow, Turbler, and Ronin. Thank you all so much for becoming channel members. Y'all truly make this content possible. And yes, I hope you all have yourselves a very, very good one. Peace, and thank you.